Indianapolis Colts fans are crashing out in my comments. Phillip Rivers called into their practice squad today. Anthony Richardson, as we all know, had an eye injury in warm-ups a few months ago. Daniel Jones broke his leg, came back, and had an Achilles, so both legs are bad. And he was on a 1-year, $14 million guaranteed deal, and they hadn't extended him yet. They were kind of giving him the Sam Darnold play. Wait to the postseason to see how much we think he's worth in the next free market. And then you have Riley Leonard, the rookie, who's got a knee injury, but he's going to play. They are down to bare bones minimum, a team that was at the top of the AFC. Injuries, and that's what I always tell y'all, the best team is the most healthy team. It's the war of attrition. It's Rambo. You win the war by attrition. You know what I'm saying? So they're losing the war of attrition right now, and it looks they got some decisions to make. And you know, a team that was going to win the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans were at the bottom of the barrel. The Texans beat the Titans and went on a run. Now the Texans have beaten the Bills in prime time. They've beaten the Chiefs in prime time. They look like they are for real and ready to make that next step. And they are right on the heels of the Colts, along with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who probably have a really good shot at winning the division now, even with their injuries to Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. So adding in Jacoby Myers seemed to have helped that offense. It's going to be interesting down the stretch. Potentially no Ravens, potentially no Chiefs, potentially Colts being like right on that fringe of, will they have a quarterback that will be healthy enough to get them into the playoffs? And then when they get into the playoffs, if they get in, will they have enough bodies to compete?
Let me teach you how to
This has been the craziest NFL season. Chicago Bears lose one game and go from 1-7. It's a small margin of error for all the teams that are fighting for their playoff lives right now. So this is fun football. And there's like 5 to 8 teams that potentially could get the number 1 pick. These are the percentage chances for all the teams that are vying for the number 1 pick. It's 7 teams. The Titans and Raiders with 28%, Browns 16, Giants 10, Saints 8, Jets 6, Commanders 3. But the Commanders and the Giants play this week. Heavy implications on the number 1 overall pick, and the Saints and the Titans play week 17. So there's a big, strong chance that any of these 7 teams could get the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Losing games on purpose may not even help you. The Raiders beat the Titans. Titans beat the Browns. The Giants and the Commanders are about to play. Saints could beat the Titans. The Titans could beat the Saints, and it could go to strength of schedule first. And you could get beat by a team and lose on purpose and still lose the number 1 pick. So I think these teams should try to win games and play competitively. You could lose a game on purpose and hurt your culture and hurt your team and still not even get the pick, which I think that's a good thing. So those been the conversations. Daniel Jones, what do the Colts do? He won't be ready to start next season, coming off of his injury. Will they sign him hurt? 1, what do they do with Anthony Richardson? 2, Riley Leonard plays. If he doesn't play well, what do the Colts do? They don't have their first round draft pick to go into the draft to try to find a QB. It's going to be interesting. Kyler Murray, Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins, Will Levis, is maybe even Joe Milton. It's going to be a handful of guys that'll be out there available. Joe Flacco for people to take a shot at as a bridge QB in the Raiders. If the Raiders get the number 1 pick, I don't see how they pass on QB with Geno Smith being in the last year of his deal next season. To the fans that are mad about my statement about the Colts is, what decision do they make? You know, they don't have first round picks for the next 2 years, and the bridge quarterback that you brought in that was playing so well, and then you know I had something happen that let me know. Y'all know when I start telling people have a blessed day. I had somebody that was in the comments arguing with me and said that Daniel Jones wasn't even playing that good. 68% completion percentage, 3,100 yards, 19 touchdowns passing, 5 rushings, and 8 interceptions. 24 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 3,100 yards through 13 games. The guy's probably going to throw for 4,000 yards if he don't get hurt. And probably going to have 25 to 30 touchdowns and around 10 to 12 interceptions. Get out of here. Like a quarterback that is coming into his prime, that has won a playoff game before, he has experience in the playoffs. You're going to have one of the top running backs, if not the top back in the league this year. Offensive Rookie of the Year in Tyler Warren. Man, I'm not hearing it, bro. Like, I get it. Teams is frustrated because he got hurt. They say, well, they shouldn't have signed him to a long-term deal. Like, what do you think long-term is for Daniel Jones? He's going to get the Sam Darnold deal. 3 years, $100 million, $60 million guaranteed, front-load the contract. After his first year, you can move on from him if you wanted to. Because all you're trying to do is get Daniel Jones to outlive the time period when you don't have first-round picks. That's all that you're trying to do. And that's why you drafted Riley Leonard right along with signing Daniel Jones. And you still had the opportunity to move Anthony Richardson as well for even more value. So I don't know. I just think sometimes people get caught up in their teams in an emotional moment and make an irrational decision in thought processes where in reality, like, the Colts are fine. They just got to navigate this situation with the QB and not make a long-term mistake, because Daniel Jones won't be ready for next season. So you got to kind of be careful of how do they approach this offseason, which means they could really turn around and offer any QB that they want to be bridged the same deal that they was going to offer Daniel Jones with less in it. That's all they have to do is say who's the best. Like, they'll have the best situation to offer any free agent quarterback that wanted to come. That's if Riley Leonard doesn't play good. If Riley Leonard plays good, then they can chill a little bit more. But, you know, to be honest, if I'm them, I turn around and say, all right, let's start this process over. Who's the best free agent quarterback? Is it Mac Jones? Is it Kyler Murray? Who could they get to come in and only give them 1 year, pretty much 1 year of guaranteed money? That's all they really got to do is just say, look, we're going to guarantee the first year. You're going to get $50 million guaranteed. You get a $100 million contract in 3 years. It's what the Raiders did to Geno Smith. You give him a 2-year deal. Geno Smith ain't going to turn down $70 million in 2 years. Just like Sam Darnold didn't turn down 60 in 3 as good as he played on the Vikings the year before. It's quite simple. Like, that's all that this is. But, you know, fans will be crashing out from like one bad situation. This is the current state of the Tennessee Titans. They have moved Xavier Woods at free safety, who had an interception, and put Kevin Winston at nickelback Baker, and they've moved Harris from nickel to outside. I love next year when they get more corners where they could put Winston back deep and put Harris back in the nickel, who made that forced fumble. So, you know, even though these guys are thin and playing out of position, they still making plays. Winston made several plays. Harris made several plays. Woods made plays. Baker, he fighting hard. He might have been getting dunked on, but he's still playing hard. It's going to be interesting to see if Michael Robinson or Kairi Elam gets onto the field in rotation down the stretch. I want to see some of those young guys. Jalen Harrell has been playing better in a spell role with Femi being out, and Jahad Ward obviously is right here. James Williams with the block kick. I hope they find some ways to get him on the field in defense. You got to see a little bit of his athleticism on the block kick. And then the new look line with Corey Levin going to be starting the rest of the season with Peter Skoronski, Dan Moore, Kevin Zeitler, and J.C. Latham, who didn't give up but one sack to Myles Garrett. They played really well in the run game too, dominating up front. Gunnerham, tight end one, who will break the Titans rookie record next game against the 49ers if he's healthy, with Chig and DMR. All three tight ends touch the ball. Van Brick Hands Jefferson, wide receiver one, with AO, who caught a touchdown, DK, who caught a touchdown. Mason Kinsey made a couple plays in special teams. Brochet made a nice catch. Tony Pollard had his best day as a pro. And Tajay contributor. I like to see Khalil Mullins get in there, but this is how the Titans will look coming into next week. Only changes I hope to see is I hope that Michael Robinson or Kari Lam get a chance to get on the field, so I can see what they look like at cornerback going into this offseason. Because if you're not gonna have the first the first overall pick, you need to make better selections with your picks as they did this year, and they got to do good in free agency. Free agency just becomes more important with the money that the Titans got free if they don't get the number 1 pick. Because they still can get value in the trade back, not like a first overall pick trade back, but still good value depending on if Dante Moore or Ty Simpson comes out of college this year. So it'll be interesting to see just exactly how the number 1 pick folds, who all decides to declare for the NFL draft, and if any of these young guys get a chance in the last month against the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Saints, and the Jaguars, the last 4 games, if they get a chance to show improve.